Let's try this again. Hi there. My spouse said I make funny faces too much. I'm in the shade, so maybe I'll get away without the glare. I'll just wear my glasses. I think I look better in glasses. So it's not that I'm wearing my glasses despite my vanity. I have a little bit of vanity, and I like it better when I wear my glasses. Anyway, I wanted to talk about movie nerddom. I'm kind of a bad movie nerd as it goes. I know lots of better movie nerds, despite the fact that anytime I'm in a regular group of people, I'm the most nerdy, unless I'm in a group of movie nerds. If I go into, Scarecrow Video or, whatever, which I so rarely find myself in anymore, I never really fit in as well as I expected to in the first place, for whatever reason. Just, probably my normal, too nerdy to be friends with even nerds quality. You're getting here, huh? So, I always had, back in the day, I would sort of do a lot of deep dives on stuff. Get into spaghetti westerns and watch all the spaghetti westerns that were available at that time, and just do a really bingey thing, and then watch a ton of samurai movies and whatever. And now I have this tendency to want to start with that, but never going very far. Partly just my life choices have changed. I have a kid and spouse, and so the lifestyle of that just isn't as conducive to just constant binging. That could sound like a complaint, but it's absolutely not. I'm so much happier in this lifestyle than I was in the other lifestyle, but there's this other change. I just wish there was an extra 6 hours in the day, and so I could successfully do all of this stuff at once if I had any complaints. But overall, this one is easily an improvement over the other lifestyle for me. But anyway, I was at work, and a coworker came up to, and we were chatting, and she said, asked if I'd ever seen Paul Blart Mall Cop. And I said I hadn't. And then she said, "You watch a lot of movies, don't you?" And I was like, "Oh, I've been outed here." And I sort of did a little, not wanting to start a thing where I'm, making it awkward. I'm not wanting to be that guy, I've plenty of times been that guy, and, been all superior and cool. And I'm kind of done with that. So I just, was trying to say, well, I had a kid, and, so I watched a lot less. But, it was still one of those, awkward moments where you've sort of been outed as having chosen not to watch it. You couldn't go back. And because it's not, and this is important, if you want to see Paul Blart Mall Cop, you see it. It's not Showa or something that you just have sitting there on the shelf and go, "Oh, one of these days." But today, no, if you really want to watch it, you've gotten around to it. If you haven't seen it, it's because you didn't want to see it. And that's all, what it is. But this is important because this is still my life. At one point or another, I chose the life of being a movie nerd. What's interesting to me is that the choice, I think, was made when I was a kid, and we didn't have a TV at my house, and seeing movies, going to see Star Wars or Superman or stuff, I'm old as fuck, was the way that I had that I could hang out with normal people and have a language that we could both speak together. I could go, "Oh yeah, I saw Star Wars and blah blah, Luke Skywalker," And then it became so much that it became, now it's a thing that I'm having a conversation, or attempting to have a conversation, with ordinary people. And we have a distance because I no longer speak the language of having just seen regular movies. I can mostly talk in, these, well, I don't know, have you seen Bird with the Crystal Plumage, kind of ways, or, whatever. What about 1936's The Black Cat? And so it ended up having exactly the opposite effect that I think I originally had. Although, it doesn't continue that, it doesn't have that linear a path to get from one place to another, of course. But it occurred to me. It's also, by the way, the reason I've expressed that I like the Marvel movies, which I know some, of my movie nerdier people, are more controversial on, depending on them and their tastes. I find that whereas they're not 100% my favorite, and there are issues I could have with them, they're good for exactly that I can have conversations with regular people, and I like them approximately the same, in the same ways, conversationally, that I can talk to people about them, and I don't come across as a freak. If I talk about Star Wars, I'm a freak. I'm a freak among Star Wars nerds. I'm a freak among anybody. My opinions on that are not popular. So I essentially don't do it. But with Marvel movies, they're about on target. I don't have any really weird opinions, and I can easily steer the conversation to my normal opinions, which I'm not always good at. Like, I didn't know where to go with the Paul Blart Mall Cop. For one thing, I don't know if she was just going to reference a joke that I, of course, don't know, or if I could have said, oh, but I saw whatever it was I might have seen. I've seen, something. Super Troopers 2? I don't remember it, but I remember that I saw it. That would make it a tough call, wouldn't it? I remember that I saw it, and it was generally amusing, wasn't it? Yes. Well, that's a conversation starter, isn't it? Anyway, so that's my second go with this, and I'm making people dizzy again, and I'm out of here.